This video contains strong language not suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Fuck Kendrick in particular.
So, hello everyone, welcome back to 5% Chance of Disaster, where we've terrorized our DM so much he's fled across the country. Hopefully he's doing well, we miss him, and we're gonna be doing our own thing tonight. Hopefully we don't set everything on fire. He fireproofed his plans, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Curtis,
Anybody...
sound funny tonight.
Yeah, Curtis, yeah. Definitely, and there's no cats like Jaeger momming in the background.
Jaeger momming.
I don't know. Anybody
Memes.
want to recap where we left off last time?
Not it.
They kind of don't
not
supposed to. Alright, so last we left off, our intrepid adventurers rejoined together after we did split the party at the town of Long Pike, where the twice burnt inn, I forgot what it was named, is rebuilt, and Lami was forced to sit outside because segregation. And then we talked to Lady Cost with our new friend slash person we didn't totally trust, Marisha, which Marisha then pointed out through a series of events and tests that Lady Cost was in fact half fairy from the Feywild. Then she
poked some iron.
Yeah, she touched some iron. It burned her hand. It was interesting. She smiled real big. Then we, after talking with Lady Cost about Firanax and Parthromax and Kor in the door in Durgan Vor, which is under Coram Vor, we determined that we had to go and slay Mr. Firanax, and there were people hunting us / possibly just Thalia. And we decided our best course of action was to leave normally so they did not burn down the third time burned down Long Pike Inn. And I believe last we left off we were getting ready to... Oh, Lami's in the closet, which I think we'll probably start up.
No, I'm out. I'm
out of the closet.
Yeah, I'm out of the closet.
So Lami popped out of the closet, and now we're hanging out.
So you are all gathered on Lady Cost's porch, where there's a small cart with Helga, the hippogriff, being harnessed to ride, or harnessed to the front of the cart by Matt Ibarra, the little boy that we saved. The cart is large enough for all of us to ride, though not entirely comfortably. You know, small town, gotta take what you can get. Lady Cost and Constable Oduo are there to see us off, and the townsfolk are actually making their way to the Twice to Torch Inn for lunch. The whole plan that we talked with Lady Cost was that we would depart as normally as we could to try to throw the hunters off their trail, or to lure them away from the Long Pike area. So as we get onto the cart, head off, there's actually a familiar ginger-haired woman seen on the porch of the inn passing out short beers to all the farmers who are making their way over for lunch and welcoming them inside. Strangely enough, no one is sitting out at the patio option this time around, though they are kind of looking at it strangely.
Segregation.
So we make our way outside of Long Pike. We pass some farmers heading into their houses. You know, they're too far away from the inn to stop in for a bite. So we kind of encounter some farmers coming in from the fields. Thalia waves to some children who are running around, and before they're herded inside for lunch. Past some fields, some orchards, and eventually the wooden fences and the stone walls are replaced by underbrush and trees as we travel further into the ancient woods. So, our trip...
Beat music.
We're going on an adventure.
It took you guys 3 days last time to make it. may be able to go faster, we may have to go slower. So if anyone wants to make a animal handling check for Helga, I would.
I got it.
Wait, isn't that my problem though?
Oh, it is. Yes, because it is your seat. So
I would probably be. I want to ride Helga. Fuck the wagon. You get on my hippogriff.
You're gonna ride Helga, who's pulling the wagon.
Yeah, you're going to ride the thing that's pulling a multiple 100-pound cart full of people.
Yep.
People, and you're welcome. Everyone's welcome to get out of the cart and walk alongside.
She's a strong girl.
That sounds 100% like Mommy.
I'm gonna walk.
It does.
Well,
as the robot in the group, I'm going to walk.
You're gonna walk. Anybody else? You're welcome to walk alongside. You have to keep up a pretty quick pace, depending on how well the animal handling check goes. If you make it.
And also, just because I'm sitting on Helga, I'm not driving the cart.
You're sitting on Helga in front of the cart.
Yeah.
She kind of rolls her eyes, pulls a little bit, just kind of. You get the idea that she's putting up with it for now. You might have words later, but.
What was the sound someone made for her? I forget what it was.
I can't remember.
For Helga.
So, do we want to take the 3-day journey at just normal traveling pace? Do we want to try to go a little bit faster? Up to you.
I mean,
3 days is a long time.
Lamy is sitting. Lamy was like, "Oh, I could make an animal handling check," and then got on top of the hippogriff. So, I guess we're going as fast as we're going.
I'm not driving though. The people in the cart have the reins. I'm just chilling on top of this hippogriff.
All right, make an animal handling check.
Not a good start to the day, boys. That's a 4.
Please fuck them off, please.
So Helga, despite you and your efforts, decides to go a little bit slower. She's actually, she's definitely taken her sweet time, stopping to smell some of those flowers and undergrowth.
Yeah, she's got a fat ass dragon on her back. She doesn't want to
she's
deal with that.
Yeah, you don't think you could pull. You don't think she'd let you do this the second day of travel, but for now she can't really go anywhere because she's harnessed up to the cart, and yeah, she's not super.
This isn't going to work very well.
You get the feeling she's really not happy, and you're gonna have to make up for this.
Can we just make Ronan pull the cart? I think that makes more sense.
Just gonna glare at fucking friend. I forgot his name. Lamy.
So at this point,
I'm gonna reluctantly get off of my hippogriff.
All right. So you get off the hippogriff, and she kind of tosses her head back, looks at you, snorts, and just keeps going. She picks up the pace. All right. So, especially with travel, hopefully you guys thought of some conversations you want to have. Keep in mind, if you want to have conversations during the daytime travel, we're all kind of in the cart, all kind of in the same space, so they're going to be more of large group conversations. If you wanted to have more one-on-one, we can do those in the evenings when we stop for camp. So,
or you could just speak in a language people don't understand.
That works too.
I will speak in
technically.
giant.
Hello.
Sounds amazingly like whale.
That's where we came up with it. It's just really big letters when you write it, and it just sounds like whale.
One letter per page.
So, does anybody want to have a conversation while we're here at the cart? I
want to look over the side of the cart because I am walking, because I am a strong, independent Goliath who ain't man. I'm gonna look over at Thrall and go, "So, Thrall, you mind telling us what's going on with you and your sword? You keep saying, like, because as you know, I'm not happy that you blatantly murdered you, but you said that it wasn't you, but you never explained how it wasn't you. So if you could enlighten, that might rustle my cheeks, as they say."
Well, I don't know much, but what I do know is that It speaks to me. I had a conversation with it, and it's called the Obsidian Dancer.
When your sword talks to you?
It does.
Can I talk to your sword?
I don't believe so.
He's not a very friendly fellow then, is he?
I believe it's her.
What, your sword is a she and it talks?
It does.
I want a talking sword.
But it also can control what I do. Now, I believe I have it under control, but it's better to have it in our hands than somebody else.
It's an interesting way. So you talk to the sword and you come to an understanding?
At this point in time, yes.
Slap the sword or not talk to it for a day?
At this point in time, we were on the same page.
Okay.
So what happens if you're not on the same page? Does it just like murdering innocents then?
You won't kill one of us, right?
I don't really have an answer for that. Because I don't know what's supposed to happen. Or what will happen.
Oh, right. You can't lie, so you can't even say no.
Well, you don't know that he...
No, but I'm just thinking in my head, like,
No,
why
but,
is
like,
it any bullshit?
I mean, I don't think we should have a reason to be afraid of him if he says it's not a problem.
I
Make
don't
sure
know.
you guys stay on the same page. That sounds ideal.
If we
Right,
are
well-
never not on the same page, I will let you know. And we'll get rid of this.
Is there anything else about the sword we should know? Like, get some cool tattoos or something with it, or?
Well, as of right now, I can go invisible whenever I want to.
Do it.
I'm gonna go invisible.
All right, so you go back. There's still that thread there from the last time you communicated with the Obsidian Dancer, and you just kind of.
I guess I had to pull on the white one, so I'm gonna pull on the white one.
You're not pulling that one, okay? So you kind of get a little tug, and slowly but surely, Thrall vanishes from sight.
Oh my god, he can legit do this on the spot. That's sick.
Yeah.
He's gonna look over at Robbie and Thrall was and go, "That's dope."
That's dope.
Robbie, Robbie, beer me, please.
All right, you get a tankard. This one will say the long pike in.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're
Robbie.
sipping
On the
at it.
other side of Lathar.
I'm just gonna drink it normally as I sit in my wagon.
All right.
What did you say, Brandon?
Nothing. Just wait till that's done first. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
So you're sipping your beer, and man, it's got a weird aftertaste. It's not sitting quite like you take a sip, and you're like, oh, it must have been the first. It's been sitting wherever Robbie keeps it for so in his coat pocket for so long. Let's take another sip. Still got a weird aftertaste. It doesn't sit very well in your stomach either.
I think I've got a bad beer. There's only one solution to that, and I'm going to finish it and ask Robbie for a better one.
All right.
Okay.
Robbie, that beer was not very good.
I do not understand, but I think I understand. And I'll pull out one that says twist and shout on it this time.
Okay. All right, what are you doing with it?
I'm going to drink it as if it's a regular beer, as I was trying to do the first time.
All right, roll me a Constitution check, please.
Okay. Hey, 18.
18. Okay. Less of an aftertaste, a little bit closer to normal. Still still not sitting quite well. You get dizzy a lot quicker than you normally do. You know, the cart's, you know, shaking a little bit more than you think it really is. And
that's an effective beer.
It's super effective.
Robbie, I think the people of the Long Pike sold you horrible beer.
And then you hear a voice whisper, "Sometimes less is more." That's it.
But point remains, Robbie, beer from Long Pike, not as good.
Well, this is going on.
Okay. One was
that was Lichtenstein, and it was better. It was less bad.
While this is going on, can I reappear on the other side of Lathar?
Sure. It's it's because the cart is a little cramped because I mean there's some firewood in there that Lady Costa sent you and some food and provisions and stuff like that for the travel. So there's not a whole lot of wiggle room once you get settled in there. So you kind of knock the firewood a little bit. And I mean Lobby's drinking his beer, so there's a little bit of a commotion, so it kind of covers what your movement, but yeah, Lathar, you kind of felt like the wind had changed a little bit for a second, but all of a sudden, Lathar, Thrall is on the other side of the cart.
I guess did anybody else see that?
I'm very, very sneaky.
I'm just gonna say in Orcish to Thrall, like, Jesus Christ, don't do that. You're gonna scare the shit. You can't do that. Use this in useful situations. Don't start trying to get back.
I had to reappear somewhere.
I know what you were doing. I see what you're doing.
I see you.
I have to admit, though, that shit's pretty cool, and I'm very impressed.
Want to see me run around the world? Want to see me do it again?
Thalia just kind of looks at Thrall, you know, cocks her head a little bit, kind of looks, and just doesn't say anything. But she pulls out, I'm trying to think, what does she pull out? She pulls out her flute, actually. Just starts kind of playing some music. This little traveling song. I don't actually have anything prepared for that, but I will roll a performance check, though. Let's see how this goes.
Hey, can I give you advantage because I have a pan flute, and I would like to join you.
Okay.
And try to make some bops.
I'm actually.
Would we both have to roll, or would that be?
I'm gonna say both of us roll performance check.
All right.
Oh boy.
Mine's a -1, so hopefully.
Not great, but.
You guys might hear some trash. Here we go.
Yeah, what you got for me?
Is that a 6? Yeah. Wait. Yeah, that's a 5.
Okay. So it's Thalia. She's been playing her bagpipes so much. It's been a while since she's practiced the flute and stuff like that. So it's a little sharp. You kind of know if there's a couple of notes. She kind of flubs a note and just tries to pretend it's like a grace note or something. Fits into the song. It eventually gets there. It's a little rusty, but she eventually gets there. And Lathar pulls out, inspired, pulls out his pan pipes and he tries to harmonize, but it's like let's see.
Are they all minor seconds?
It's like oh god. I forgot you had some actually, Chris. It's like you're at it's like you're at a baseball game and you hear like some music playing and stuff like that, and the little kid's got a harmonica and they're trying to play along with it. They think they're like so cool. They're trying to play along with the music they hear, and it's not there. But it's cute. It's a nice attempt. Unless somebody
start walking faster.
Helga kind of just jerks her head a little bit, makes sure to steer the cart over a rock to make the sound stop for a second.
Okay, so lovely song, but who wants to play? Who wants to play a game?
What kind of game?
Oh, it's a simple dice game. We'll bet some money.
Sure, why
I'm not a gambling man.
Oh, I was born gambling man.
No gambling. No fun.
So I guess you got a challenge from Lythar.
Yeah,
Said it
sure, why
really
not?
Quietly.
Sorry,
Yeah, you are really quiet tonight, buddy.
I'm not trying to be.
See, now you're loud.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. Sometimes it's like it barely picks you up.
It's
and
his
sometimes
microphone.
It's
It's being
My
weird.
microphone, yeah, it might be. I don't know.
Anyway, so Lami, if you want to set the scene for your dice game here.
okay, so Kendrick, it's a very simple game. It's over under.
Like blackjack?
Kind of pick a number. If you're over, great. You win the money. If you're under, you lose that money.
What do we do? Roll d20 for it?
Yeah, you just since I'm offering you to play, you would pick a number and offer your bet based on that. Like, okay, if you picked 18 and you wanted to go over, maybe that's a risky bet, you know?
Right, okay.
Or you can take a safe bet, etc.
Alright, Lami, let's so I get to pick what number it is since you challenged me?
Yes.
Let's do, how much money you talking first?
What do you got?
Let's
Let's start small with 100 gold.
small. I was gonna say 25 gold.
Oh.
But you know what? Just for you.
Let's meet in the middle at 50 then.
Alright, 50 gold. Let's do over 14.
Over 14, you take the pot.
Yes. So now whoever gets over that wins?
Nope.
Don't
I
tell
roll
me-
once. I got a 15. And
And
it's
I-
your pot, sir.
So I don't roll?
Nope. You just won 50 gold from me.
Oh, word.
I still
word.
don't understand how this game works.
I
honestly
don't have
thought-
to. I don't.
I
Have to
thought I
accept-
said
if he proposed, let's say he proposed a 50-50, right? And when he said over 14, that puts the odds in my favor. So yes, I'm going to accept it. I have more of a chance of getting the number right. If he picked like an 18 or something,
Because you got a 15. and
So-
over 14?
so-
he got it right.
Because he guessed that the dice would
Oh.
be over 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was a
If
50.
the odds were different, like if it was like, okay, if I get over 19, and he was like, you put in 100 but I'll only put in 10, I've got a chance at winning 10 gold easily. But if I'm wrong, it's going to cost me. So you kind of pick and choose your bets too. It's fun.
okay. Alright, your turn, Lami.
Okay.
Same wager.
50-50.
Well, 50 gold. Yeah.
Over 8.
I hope I get it fucking lower than that shit. Wow, that was a nat 20. Does that count for anything?
It means you critically.
means-
Counts that you
I
lost.
critically
It means
lose.
I won my money back.
God damn it. That's funny.
Well,
Anybody have-
we both walked out of this with the same amount of money.
I'd be like,
That
well,
was
that was
rather uneventful.
That was a good time. Thanks for that, Lobby. I'm glad we did that.
Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about? Play games? Tell a story while we're daytime traveling?
No,
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
you can do your thing. I just want to be keeping my eye out while we're walking along the path for the day.
Alright.
Smart.
You looking for anything specific, or
No, just the general. Is there danger? Is there something amiss afoot?
all right? Roll me a perception check.
Is there a helmed horror hide?
Wait, are we going through a forest right
That
now?
fight could have been.
Yeah,
so
we're going
much
through the
harder.
forest right now.
Oh, so my
Yeah.
shit is stacked right now. I gotta remember that.
Through the forest back to Forum 4. We've been on this road before.
16.
16?
To go get core.
Yeah, you keep an eye out, and every now and then you see the trees rustle, and you're on alert. But it's just a squirrel or some small woodland creature or the breeze. So nothing's piquing your radar here. So we travel on for the rest of the day. We left around lunch, so we got our head start, as it were. We eventually make our way to one of the campsites along the trail that you guys previously stayed at. Is
this the one next to the river?
Not yet.
Oh,
Ronan, tackle the tree.
Not yet. This one's next to a tree. I know, weird in the forest, right?
So tackling the tree was the second campsite. That was the one at the river.
So
there's many trees.
It's actually you're starting to come close to it, and you're like, oh, finally, most of it. We've been sitting in this cart for a couple hours now, and it's not necessarily a smooth ride. We're all pretty, bunched in there. But you come up to the campsite, and you find you're not alone.
What else is there?
You see someone's already started a fire, and there is another cart kind of parked off the side of the road.
Oh, shit.
With a donkey just kind of gnawing away at some of the undergrowth. And
would you like me to alert?
Huh?
Would you like me to alert them to our presence?
No, Robbie, let's just be as normal as possible.
Okay, I cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay, are we stealthing up to our campsite?
No.
I'm not going.
I had one of two options: activate headlamps or make us all stealthy.
All right. Well, there's still enough daylight in the forest, and as you get a little bit closer to the campsite, a little bit closer, you kind of peek around the tree, and you find there is a man. Looks to be about early 40s, high 30s, early 40s. And you're assuming it's his son. He's, young, 10 to 12. And they're just kind of sitting there. The son's wiggling around. He's obviously trying to listen to whatever story his dad's telling him, but he keeps wiggling. He's got a lot of energy after a day of travel, so he eventually stands up and starts walking around the campsite, poking the fire with a stick just to see what happens. So, what do you guys do?
I suppose we should walk up and say hello to these people.
I want to turn to Keelik and say, you remember this place?
Keelik just kind of gives you...
You almost died. I almost died. Good times.
I'm gonna kind of walk away and mutter to myself, what I won't do if he didn't run away. And I'm gonna go wave at these people.
I forgot about that.
Hello.
They look up, a little startled. They weren't expecting anyone else to be traveling. The son, just wide, eyes widen at the size of the group and the collection of characters we travel with. And just kind of mouth hangs open for a second, But the father just kind of... Father, slowly stands up from his seat, in front of the fire. Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Fellow traveler?
Hello. I am Robbie.
Oh, my name's James. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you, James.
I'll hand both of them a beer.
James, not anticipating that, just kind of looks at it and thanks, but I'll pass. I promised the wife wouldn't really drink too much while I was out.
That is an option?
And then he definitely, you see the boy start to reach for it, and the father just, kind of puts the hand down. Oh, nope.
I have much to think about.
All right, well, name's James. Where you coming from? Long Pike? There?
Yeah, just on our way to Coram 4.
Oh, Corn Vor, yeah,
normal
yeah.
business and such.
Yeah, just coming back in Corn Vor. Yeah, myself.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, this is Wesley. Wesley, say hi. Hi. He
Hello,
waves.
Wesley.
He's still staring at Robbie. Like, you think he's considering how to get the beer, but he like, as soon as you're like, maybe he's thinking of something, he just diverts his attention. As soon as he sees Lami, he's like, wow. So
I'm gonna step out of the cart and have Cora jump down, and I'm just gonna like kind of stand in front of them and have Cora sit there, and I want to see if the kid's gonna like shit himself that there's a giant glowing wolf just chilling.
I mean, he probably sees the hippogriff, doesn't he?
yeah.
Oh yeah, and I guess there's a lot going on for this.
Yeah,
event.
there's-
Going on for
kid
this
is
old dude
just-
right now.
This kid is just like one thing to the next, like as soon as everyone starts coming over the campfire, and he doesn't know what to focus on. He's like, "Whoa, are you a? Oh my gosh, that's a He doesn't quite know where to start with everything. He's just so overwhelmed. He seems very excited. He's like, "Whoa, oh, we've been traveling for like 2 days and haven't seen anyone. You're like the first people we've seen since we left Corn Vor. Oh my gosh, oh, it's so nice. Who are you? Hi, my name's Wesley. Do you wanna share a fire? Do you wanna share a fire for the night? We got going. I don't think we have a whole lot of food to share right now though, but oh, we got a fire. Yeah, it's great.
But we have food, young one. So, if you both don't mind, could share the fire if it's okay.
All right. Yep. And you do see Keelik now. He's, after that ribbing from Thrall there, he just kind of looks around. He's obviously he's very well familiar. It is the one that he brought you to. That you guys fought Keelik before. So he just kind of finds a familiar spot, walks, leans up against a tree, just kind of looks around, makes sure nothing's going on. Doesn't seem too keen on interacting with James or Wesley, but it's just chilling.
Start unloading the.
And some of the fire. Okay.
I'm gonna
Glumly.
ask the father, how low on food are you guys? Are you guys pretty scarce? Like, are you struggling?
No, we grabbed enough provisions before we left Corn Vor, but only got enough food for 2. weren't really expecting to run into any travelers here.
No, I wasn't asking for you to share. I was gonna offer my hunting abilities. I was gonna go out and get some more extra food for you if you really needed it. But
no, it's very kind of you to offer, but yeah, we got enough food. But thank you. It's very, very generous of you.
Kendrick just wants to use swords.
Kendrick, you are welcome to if
Swords.
Lythar wants to go hunt for some more food other than the provisions. I mean, look, you kind of take a peek, as Ronan is unloading the cart, you see the food that Lady Costa's prepackaged and prepared for you. There's some bags of instant soup, a couple of different flavors. You think you're not quite sure until you throw it in there. There's some cheeses, some bacon and eggs. Nothing. It's standard road provision. So if you wanted to find some more food, you're welcome to.
Oh yeah, I want some game meat, baby.
All right, make a survival check.
Don't die.
Please don't. You're my backup DM.
Is there anything that happens from like? Does Cora assist at all? I guess, or I don't know. If that...
she's got keen sight, right?
Yeah.
Insight. Yeah.
So what? Just advantage, I guess, or
Yeah, just advantage.
Let's see. 16.
16? Okay. So you eventually, you're kind of looking around. The sun's definitely starting to dip below the mountain range, and it's getting a little bit harder to see. But you eventually find some rabbits. Nothing huge, but you find some fresh meat. Able to get it. Once you find it, it's not really a problem to hunt it down and get it. And Cora,
I took down a rock. Don't worry, rabbits ain't gonna give me any
God,
trouble.
I want him to have to roll to hit this rabbit so bad now. I want a nat 1 against this fucking rabbit.
maybe another night if he keeps
the rabbit
keeps this
from
up.
Monty Python.
Yeah, just kills
Nat
Flybar.
1, it rips his throat out.
All right, so yep, you catch your prey and make your way back to the campfire, and you see everyone's kind of gathered around. I'm trying to think. Thalia's grabbed one of the bags of instant soup and started making that, cooking that over a pot on the fire. And she's listening to not Matt. That's the other PC. She's listening to Wesley, who's just chattering away, telling whatever story of their travels from Corumvor. Just nodding, smiling, making the appropriate, like, oh wow, really? Okay, yeah. So she's chatting.
So what is old dude James?
Yeah, the father is James. The boy is Wesley.
So James, what are you heading to Long Pike for?
Oh, we wife and I, Suzanne, we live on a berry farm just outside of Long Pike. Had a pretty sizable crop, and everyone in Long Pike is just, man, they're sick of all the berries. I mean, we had a really good crop, and had some great blueberry pies this year, yeah. But everyone's so sick of blueberries, we figured we'd take the next batch up to Corumvor, sell them there to the markets. Did pretty well, and once we got rid of everything, making our way back.
And how was Corumvor?
A little on edge. Now you mention it, I didn't really get a good chance. We didn't want to stay along from the missus too long, just kind of stole their stuff. But it was a little more on edge. Now you mention it, a lot more guards, I noticed. Don't know what's that about. You guys been there before?
Once or twice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess, how's Long Pike? I'm sure nothing's changed, but...
You could say that. But... No, it's perfectly normal. Everything's fine.
Wait a minute. Aren't you that fella? Weren't you there the first time the inn burned down?
No. Wasn't me.
Just kind of looks at you. Just kind of shakes his head. Just goes back to making himself a plate of food here. Making one for Wesley, and he gently shoves it in his hands, and he's like, eat up. Wesley, scooping mouthfuls in between, talking to Thalia about something. He's just at this point, and she's trying a couple stories to entertain him here.
Now, I was there the second time it burned down. But I did not burn it down.
The second time?
Oh, you've been away that long?
Well, I mean, it's 3 days travel, too, and 3 days... When it burned down again?
A couple days ago.
Crap, everyone okay? Patty okay, and her husband, and...
Yeah, probably. Everything's probably fine, yes.
Is it Patty the one you chased out?
It's good to hear,
Isn't Patty's husband dead?
Yeah, Patty's husband is dead.
Patty's husband is definitely dead.
He got beamed in the face by a thing of oil.
Do you say that in character, Maury?
No.
That's why I'm like, yeah, bit of a situation normal.
Yeah, that'd be terrible thing that happened. That inn's like a meeting place for everyone.
Oh, they're meeting there. They've rebuilt it.
Oh, they rebuilt it. Oh, good. Yeah. We're pretty good at building that thing, I guess. First time.
Very, very, very speedy.
There's a nice patio section now.
What? It's got an outdoor section?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Just for our friend right over here.
Didn't know they were thinking of expanding. Man, that's
Oh, yep.
great.
Small expansion, but
Good for
I guess
them,
they deemed it necessary.
All right, yeah. So you guys kind of gather around, grab some food. Food's finally ready. You know, Thalia starts serving you out. And Wesley remembers suddenly that all of you are there again, and you know everyone's finished unloading the cart or whatever. And he goes, "Oh, if you don't mind me asking, have you killed anything before? Did you kill someone?
Business. Back to your drinks."
Oh, you killed someone. What's the biggest thing you killed?
Is this to all of us or just Lami?
Well, he's looking at Lami right now. The first question, but Lami's the one who answered.
Things,
so
they can all tell you about big things. They've killed lots of big things.
Okay, so he kind of looks around. All right, what have you killed? What's the biggest thing you killed?
Take it away, Lythar.
What?
I'm gonna pull my sword out and go, I killed a hook horror. This is its arm.
Wow.
I kind of hold it down to show him.
Just kind of reaches his hand out and kind of looks to his dad for a second.
You should show him your beak.
Oh yes, the beak.
Oh my god, I forgot, yeah.
I'll run into the cart and pick up this beak, which is...
I'm surprised you're still not just holding it the whole time.
Well, the beak is now hollowed out, and you can actually put your arm in the beak. So it's like an arm, shieldy, punchy fist thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually imagined Ronan getting super excited by that and then running to the cart like a 5-year-old would to show off his new toy.
Well, here, I think, so Curtis and I were talking about that, and from the description he gave me, that's what I came up with. He is telling, so possible retcon later, that's what I got out of his explanation, is that I could put my arm in it and hit stuff with it.
Oh boy. That'll be fun to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he sees Thrall point at Lythar for a second. He just kind of looks at Lythar, and then he, all of a sudden, like, Ronan shoots up, runs over the cart, and Wesley just, attention's just gone. This kid's like a dog. Like, he's just following every single stimulus. So, Ron, you pull out the beak, and
which I imagine is about as big as he is.
Yeah, easily. And he's just... Whoa. What is that from?
I'm gonna be like, well, I shot that out of the sky.
You shot? What was it? How big was it? Tell me all about it.
Well, it wasn't just me. We all... I could not have done it without my friends. But let's just say this thing was flying around, took an arrow, fell to the ground, and then... Well, that was that pretty much. Not too long after that, it was down.
Whoa.
It's a big bird. You ever hear of a rock?
No.
Don't ever look for one.
Okay.
But yes, very, very big bird.
That's so cool. And he's bouncing up and down at this point. He's just so excited. He's like, oh, all right. How long have you guys been friends? Are you best friends? Do you have a best friend? He just kind of looks around.
Ronan's going to walk.
Okay. He's like, oh, maybe he doesn't have a best friend. Maybe I could be his best friend, and then I'd be super cool. Maybe I could get a beak like that. Do you think I could get a beak like that if I was his best friend? He's looking at Mori at this point. Can I be his best friend?
You know, us being adventurers, maybe you don't want to be our best friends. Things get dangerous real fast.
James just kind of... Yeah, Wesley, you got some growing up to do before you even think about adventuring. We got... No. Here.
He's taller than Mori, right?
Probably.
Mori's tall. He's a whole, 4 feet.
How tall is the
You're
kid?
3 foot something, right?
He's as tall as Remus.
We gotta get him some of that magic water.
So Wesley...
Strip.
Wesley's, they're about eye to eye.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, no, they're not. He's not that super tall. So
I'm gonna walk towards Ronan with a beer for Ronan.
okay, Ronan, and well, I mean, how far away are you from the campsite? Do you go?
I'm sitting on a log, like.
Okay.
Like sitting there with.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to him and offer him a beer.
I will take. So.
What's wrong? What's wrong, big buddy?
Just some old wounds, if you stand.
Not a bit.
It kind of make a perception check for me, both of you.
Oh, that is a. I don't know what my mother is. That's a 3.
Ooh, I did a whole lot better with a 9.
All right,
It's better than 3.
all right, keep going.
So, what do you think we're gonna find in Korumvor?
Well, if all goes well, we'll find a dragon.
I don't think it's gonna be smooth sailing to get to there.
No?
No.
We have a head start.
Correct, but we also have a lot of people looking for us.
We do. But
They're even looking for people
who know us.
who don't even directly know us.
Good point. No.
Me either. It'll be an adventure.
It will be an event. Whether or not it's a good one is up for assume.
Personally, I'm curious to see if we would see any resistance at the front gates.
Oh, why? They like us. Steiner.
Last time we knew, but that... A lot has changed in these past few days.
True, but Jürgen sent word to Lady Koss to warn us that the people. Oh yeah. So at least we know Jürgen is still friendly.
Hopefully, but there's a lot going on there. It'll be a mess. I guarantee it.
Speaking of messes,
Like James says, the whole town is on edge and there's lots of guards everywhere. That can't be for no reason.
I imagine it's us.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is I think they're looking for someone.
Speaking of looking for someone or something, what was the deal with the closet? It's just a closet. What did you find in there?
It's a long story, Ronan. The first time I went in, I thought what I saw was my parents' death. Very strange. But the second time I went back in, it turns out they are alive. They're somewhere else. And it's...
Eh?
No, I don't have any clue where. But I saw so many things. It's hard to describe. That could tie into a lot of things here.
Well, after we deal with this dragon, parents.
It may be a good idea.
We also have Thrall's mother.
How close am I to this conversation?
I went around.
Am I close
the
enough
wagon.
to not hear it, or to hear it?
Yeah, you're close enough to.
We're
You
not
hear them
exact- we're not-
talking,
we're
but
not
you don't
being
hear the
quiet.
words.
Gotcha. Okay.
Seems our list is getting long. Seems.
It seems it is. And I'm not quite sure if dealing with this dragon will help us with anything that's happening near Longbike. The incidents seem connected to me.
Well, if the dragon turns into a big metal one, then it'll be a problem. I suppose it's a problem already since Core went Ergenvor.
I had some questions about that as well.
So?
As Terry said to us, things get infected with this metallic disease when they escape. When they go back, are they normal again? I don't think we have, but we didn't find any metallicized creatures underground. We only found normal ones.
But when the hippogriff came back, it was metal.
But it never really made its way back.
Didn't make its way. It went somewhere else.
It got eaten.
I don't know if it got eaten.
I thought Robbie found the pieces of the hippogriff inside of the big bird.
There were 2 hippogriffs. One of which was eaten.
It will be interesting to see if Core is there, if he's metallic, or if he remembers anything. I don't have a clue what's going to happen.
One of the jobs I took ago, ambushed by some creatures in the snow. They were basilisks.
Lizards don't live in the snow, Ronan.
Well, they were.
Well, I'm a lizard, and I don't like the snow.
You're a dragon, you lizard.
I've got scales.
Fair enough. But they turned one of my party members to stone. We used... One of my party members used a scroll of greater restoration to heal them. So there's still a small bit of hope in my heart. Save. After all, he did save me. He didn't electrocute, then I would be the metal thing running around.
This is true. We would most likely need a scroll because I don't think anybody in our little group possesses such abilities.
I certainly do.
I don't either. I mean, I can heal you if I touch you, but it ain't all hunky-dory afterwards. It's just a little bit.
Else?
So at this point,
so.
the rest of the party is around the fire, and everyone over by the fire had realized that Wesley had gone and peeked under the cart and listened to that entire conversation.
Right.
And he kind of realizes that they're still, and he just kind of scares back out and runs back to the fire. And he's like, "Okay, everyone pretend I was here the whole time. Okay? Yeah, I never left." And James kind of rolls his eyes.
That was the perception check, wasn't it?
Yeah. And you both failed.
Excellent. Ironically enough, while they were having that conversation away from the fire, I wanted to approach Mori.
Okay.
Ooh,
Mori,
do it.
What's up?
I believe that we have a slight problem with the events that are currently happening. The only person that belonged to this party that could do anything with lightning is now underground. Do you have a way to create a lightning weapon of some sort?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Right now, I don't think I have any sort of capabilities like that. Whenever we go back to Korumvor, I'll do some looking around and see if I can't scrounge something up. I think you're right. We definitely need somebody that can, or something that can.
I have heard that there are wands that can do this.
Okay, yeah. I'll definitely keep an eye on it, that's for sure.
Excellent.
Wands of go ahead.
But I think you should check this out. And I pull out the dark spot and also the drunk cube. So I've been working on this. I'm not done yet. It's not done yet. Okay, so don't spoil it. I'm spoiling it for you. But I want to combine.
Are you guys having this conversation at the fire or a little bit away?
Oh, I guess it's.
Oh, I was at the fire.
Well, anyway, I guess you all can know. Yeah, this is my next project. It's pretty cool. I'm excited about it. Right. So I'm going to combine the dark spot and the drunk cube.
By the way, I think
like
this is the first time.
I was about to say, I think this is the first time everyone else has seen the drunk cube.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, didn't. Oh, well, anyway. So if I combine the two, maybe I can confuse all the robots. It would be amazing. Anyway, and I go back to like tinkering with the two objects, just kind of like putting them together.
Would you be able to directionalize it? That would affect me as well, would it not?
Maybe. I haven't thought about that. That may be something that I should look into. Some kind of shield, some kind of radar thing.
Oh, I mean, you make that yourself? James is just kind of... He looks impressed. He's never really seen anything quite like that. He's never seen anything quite like Robbie either, so he's still kind of... Every time Robbie talks and interacts, he's kind of a little bit phased, you know, startled by it for a second, but he settles down pretty quick, so... Yeah. You make that yourself?
Oh, yeah. I love, like, building things. I built him, and I point to my big old robot guy with the hat. So,
you do anything? You just stand there, or...?
He just kind of, like, lifts his spear.
James just... Again, startled because he's never seen anything like this before. Just, oh, whoa, wow, that... Seems pretty useful. It's, real good of you there. Make some good money off of that.
Frank just kind of like waves. Yeah, he's been a great help. I love him.
Aww.
So,
Frank.
He's my greatest creation.
It's easy to tell. So, I don't really know the fancy words to describe it, but it seems pretty great. Seems you guys been adventuring for long? It sounds like you're looking for lightning wands and whatever that does. Yeah, you guys are definitely an adventuring group, I'm guessing.
Before anyone like says anything, I'm just gonna reply to him and be like, "What did you say you're going back to Long Pike for again?"
Going home to the farm.
Is that where you live?
Yeah, me, Wesley, my wife.
So what'd you go to Coronvor for, if you don't mind me asking?
Selling berries.
Yeah.
Selling berries?
Yep.
Yeah, he's told you this.
Is he telling the truth?
Yes, he is. He's been truthful the entire night so far.
Are you guys sticking around this camp for a while? Like, after, are you leaving tomorrow morning?
I mean, yeah, we're heading out in the morning. Want to get back. Already left the farm. We had a couple friends stop over to help Suzanne out with some of the daily chores and all that, but don't want to be beholden to them for too long. Yeah, gotta look out for each other. So try to get back as soon as we can.
On your way back, I suggest that you guys might try to find an alternate route, maybe not a direct path. It's just my suggestion.
Something wrong with the road? Could the inn burn down?
No, I'm just afraid that our group might be followed, and I'd hate for you to get stuck in between our problems and you just getting back to your farm safe.
Problems, you say?
Yeah.
Being followed, who are you guys? I mean, I know your name, I know most of your names, but,
the less you guys know, probably the better, to be honest.
Well, yeah, you got a group name or something we can, if we're not supposed to know your names or whatever. You got a group name, so at least Wesley can brag about something to his friends or whatever.
I don't think you want Wesley to brag about meeting us after this.
And we're not that cool anyway.
We're really not that cool.
I don't know.
You're a nice kid, but
large group. You got some metal men, and you got the big guy and the other big guy with the scales. Scales, are those scales? Yeah. Well,
yeah, they are, but you get the idea.
You are not there, actually. You were finishing up your conversation with Ronan.
I thought so, but then you referenced me and I got confused, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Too many things are happening at once.
Too many things. Yeah, you got Bugbear over there. I don't know what's his deal, and you seem like a nice. You offer to get us some extra food and all that. Seemed like a pretty cool group. Trust me, he's gonna brag about it anyway.
I just kind of look at everybody. I'm like, are we supposed to name ourselves? Is that a thing we should do?
I have heard it. I have heard it traditionally done that groups of a large adventuring nature tend to name themselves after a while. I believe it has something to do with recognition.
Thalia jumps in. It's great for storytelling. I mean, it's kind of hard for us bards when there's how many of us? 7 or 8 of us, and you got to remember everyone's name for every verse. And it's a little bit easier to just have one group name sometimes. I mean, don't get me wrong. We try to get everyone's name down, but sometimes the big groups come up with a name because they want the bards to have a rhyme scheme or something.
Thalia, what would make it easy for you to write a song about?
That's a good question. I'd have to think about it. And I'm open to suggestions, honestly. You guys have been traveling together, well, minus Robbie and I. You guys have been traveling together the longest. I feel like you guys should. I'm kind of new to the group and all that. Don't want to, make any assumptions for anyone. So if you guys, maybe we could take a couple days. We don't have to decide tonight. Sorry, James. I wish we had an answer. We're kind of new to this whole thing, And he just kind of, oh no, just thought I'd ask. I don't know what the etiquette or policy or whatever is for meeting you adventuring types. Just thought I'd ask. So yeah, I mean, maybe do what the lady says. Take a couple days, think about it. Seems so. Although if you killed that bird thing, whatever the big guy's got, somebody at Longpike's gonna want to write a song about it, or I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to do for the evening?
Yes, but not while they're awake. Like the 2 NPCs.
They're
Okay.
people, Kendrick.
Not in my
They
mind.
have names. Ronan's going to keep to himself. If
Okay.
Lami leaves him, Ronan's just gonna stay.
Oh, that's no fun.
Alright, so kind of winds down. Wesley's trying to keep his energy up, and he just kind of yeah. That's so cool. And he just keeps falling asleep. So Thalia eventually kind of grabs the flute again, tries to perform.
I'm not going to try to help this
Same
time.
roll. All right. It's still, again, she thought she kind of worked out the kinks. It's a little bit better than last time. Still a little rough, but at first she kind of picks she picks one of her favorite tunes, which is a little upbeat for the evening as it's dying down. Eventually, she hits stride and plays a couple songs and
Starts playing it in F flat by mistake.
Oopsie.
Yep, my favorite key.
Ronan, come back to the
Gross.
fire. It's cold out here.
Gonna stay here.
Whatever suits you. I'm gonna go warm up. I'll shake your hand back.
All right. So Lonnie comes back over the fire. There's some more small talk. James eventually catches Wesley nodding off again. Says, "All right, come on. Best we get off to bed. So let these adventurers get some sleep for their journey, and we got a little bit of ways to go before we go home. So we best be getting off to bed. If we don't see you in the morning, it was a pleasure to meet you. Real nice. Thanks it's nice to share the fire with somebody else." And they kind of unpack their bedrolls and settle in for the evening. Thalia's takes out her bedroll as well, falls asleep pretty quickly after that as well. So, anybody staying up? Or I know Lythar.
I'm going to pop the head off my chicken. Okay, and there's going to be a string that just kind of like pulls. It's got like a reel. And I'm going to walk around in a 20-foot cube, okay, with this string, and then I'm going to set the chicken head kind of like in the middle of where we're sleeping. As an alarm.
Seems to amaze me. I don't need to know what that does. I'm sure it's cool, but that's pretty cool.
Well, if somebody pokes it, you're definitely going to hear something. So, highly suggest not touching the wire if you want decent sleep.
Sounds like a plan. Unless anybody has anything they'd like to talk about, I think I will go to bed as well.
Yeah.
I am gonna post up next to Frank's head and do my overnight watch / recharge cycle. But I do have something I want to do in the morning, so after Lythar does whatever he's gonna do.
Alright. So, those of you still awake, kind of see Lythar pet Cora a little bit. Bench and, start to do his kumbaya seance, whatever he does. And Cora actually wanders off and sits in front of Ronan.
I give her a scritch.
Kinda.
Does she accept the scritch?
She looks at you. She looks at you, kind of dodges it at first. She's making you work for it.
Fair enough.
She remembers. She knows who you are.
Remembers the mug.
Remembers the mug.
The Great Mug Incident. A week ago.
The Great Mug Incident of the Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout? Like 6 months ago. No, I'm kidding. So eventually she begrudgingly lets you pet her.
What are you doing, puppy? Little doggy. What should I call you? Dog? Wolf?
She stares at you.
Both.
She kind of when you say wolf, she kind of bows her head a little bit.
Wolf. Got it.
Anything else before call it a night? Wake up next morning.
Is Thrall still awake?
For a little bit, sure.
Are you like laying down, or are you still like sitting up on a?
Yeah.
You're laying down. So
Resting the eyeballs.
I'm gonna poke you with the back, like real softly, like boop boop boop.
I'm laying on my back.
So I'm poking you on your back regardless.
Poke him in the shoulder.
Oh, you're laying on your back. Oh.
How do you do this?
I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute.
He dug a hole, climbed up,
went underneath.
Boop, boop, boop.
So I'm just gonna kind of like poke your side, like, hey.
What?
And then in Orcish, I'm just gonna say, I'm sorry for how I treated you when I first met you. I don't know where you're from. I don't know what your history is, but I have a bad, interesting history with orcs. But I just wanted to say I appreciate everything you've been doing and helping us. And there's no hard feelings, right?
No. Apology accepted.
Alright.
Now go to sleep.
Alright.
Keelik was eyeing you strangely as you were like debating of like, oh, do I poke him here? Do I poke him? He was just kind of watching you and then giving you kind of just kind of rolls his eyes eventually he settles in himself, and
Strange
everyone
game that orcs play sometimes.
Was
Poke the
Cora
sleeping
still
one.
by Ronan?
I don't
Or
know.
did
Did she come back at all?
Well, I was gonna say if she was, I was gonna do like a real soft like little whistle, like I
Okay.
can't do it, and then she was gonna come back and cuddle with me.
Okay, so she does that. She Yep. So eventually, y'all fall
Same
asleep.
sound.
We all fall asleep, and we wake up. It's the morning.
Can we take a bathroom break while we go to bed?
The bathroom
We
break
can.
now?
We can.
I
We still have
mean, I feel
two more days to travel. So
Yeah, but I feel like it's close to our usual time for
Yeah.
a.
wasn't sure. We started a little bit late. So all right.
Is that
yep,
a long rest? Slash, do we
Well,
even need a long rest?
We don't need a long rest. But
Yeah,
it
I
would
was saying, I
be
don't
a
think we
long
do.
rest.
Well,
Yeah.
Unless we get
I do
attacked.
because I like to
Yeah.
burn useless spells.
So long rest if you need to. We'll come back in the morning. All right. Take 10. So back at 9:35.
Yeah.
You got it. 9:37.
Welcome back to 5%. I don't know how Curtis usually reopens this,
It's
but
5% chance that our DM won't show up.
5% chance. Our DM loves
But nat one on that one today.
it. Curtis, we love you. Please don't leave me to run this game for the rest of my life. Okay, so everyone wakes up. We all had a long rest. Nothing triggers the wire overnight, so it's pretty nice. It's a nice change of pace after traveling and the menagerie, and you finally all just kind of relaxed a little bit for a night. So let's see. Lythar, I think you wake up first, right?
Yeah, I required the least sleep.
And then Robbie.
Yes, 6 hours.
Okay. And so you both are awake and just kind of waiting for everyone else to wake up. Wesley and go ahead.
When I wake up, I know Lythar is awake, but I don't really seem to care.
Oh,
And
thanks.
hold on a second.
I
was posted next to Frank's head all night, and my eyes kind of glow back to life, and I unhunch and stand back up, and then I kneel down and I look at Frank's head, and I go, I do not know if this will work, but it has been recommended. Primus, are you there?
Oh.
I am lost. You stopped sending orders. I have never been without orders in my life. And I'll wait, and I assume Frank doesn't respond.
Yeah, you get a little bit of feedback. You think you hear it, and then as soon as your eyes flicker to wherever you thought it there's no changeable, noticeable difference in Frank's demeanor, disposition, whatever, one of those words. And you thought you heard something again, but it's so brief you can't get a lock on it. So you're not sure whether that's the Primus communicating with you, or whether you're just hoping the Primus does communicate with you. Could be you got bad Wi-Fi out here in the forest. You're not.
That's probably likely.
Too many 5G towers were destroyed.
Does Robbie sleep like a droid from like episode 1? Like they're all bundled up.
So do you have Frank lying down, Maury? Or has Frank been standing up?
I'm assuming he's kind of like sitting down on like a log or something.
Yeah,
Kinda chilling.
maybe propped up against the cart a little bit.
Yeah.
Or robot chicken.
He's not a
Well,
chicken.
Frank and the robot chicken are different.
Frank is not a chicken.
I just like calling the robot chicken.
You're confusing the audience.
Wait,
So the other thing, Robbie, is you're looking at the chicken for a second, and then you hear it coming from Frank, and then you realize the chicken's name might not be Frank. You'll have to get some clarification there. So you're kind of looking back and forth. You're not sure if you heard something. You also need to figure out which one you want to communicate with the Primus with. The last time you did have any, I'm actually not sure. Curtis didn't tell me. The last time you interacted was with Frank's head, which is now on his body though. So, you're so used to having carried around Frank's head that you look instinctively towards the chicken because it's just sitting on the ground. But you kind of look back and forth. Is there anything else you want to do?
Are we the only ones awake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have something else you wanted to do before I...
I mean, after sitting there for like 10 minutes staring at the head, I would get up and then start laying drinks out next to everybody to wake up next to.
Okay.
My man.
So while you're doing that, I'm just going to be like, good morning, Robbie. I have a
Good morning.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
If you don't mind me asking, what is this Primus? Can you explain to me what this all means?
I cannot. From my understanding, the Primus is a god. There are many of them. This one chose to speak with me. I would like to know why. And then I'll hold out my palms and show you. This symbol apparently belongs to him.
What do I see anything, recognize anything in this symbol?
It is so the symbol that has been carved in my hand since the beginning, and every once in a while it glows when I'm getting ready to charge my arm cannon. It basically looks like a 6-pointed cog around a circle in the middle, and it is known in this world as a symbol of the Primus, which is a recognized like godlike figure from a different realm.
Okay. What does this Primus tell you? Do you need to worship it, or does it just give you instructions of what orders to take out? Like, how does it work?
It has given me instructions. It told me, originally when I saw your dwarven friend, that it must be eliminated. Later on in the chase, it updated instructions and told me that we must study it. It seems to be anomalous for the way that the Primus understands the universe to work.
So that's what you mean by we must eliminate the anomaly. Or
Correct.
capture the anomaly.
Correct. An anomalous figure in the state of the plane that we exist on could, in effect, have the same effect as sticking one bag of holding in another.
Guys, this is some pretty heavy breakfast talk.
Aren't you still
You're not
asleep,
awake.
bitch?
I'm waking up. And
Nope.
I want to hear all that. I'm waking up.
Nope.
It is the wee hours of the morning.
If you wake up, you lose your long rest.
Oh, poopy.
Sorry. I know, Thalia wishes she heard that, but... So, anything else you two want to do before everyone wakes up?
Damn it.
I'm trying to think. Has Robbie and Cora ever... You did interact with Cora when you first met her, right? You gave her like a big old like pat on the head, right?
I don't remember.
I think Roden threw the mug at
I
her.
believe that was an episode you were unfortunately not able to be with us that day, Mike.
Oh, maybe it was Curtis.
I think...
We'll have
I'd
to check
ha-
the
I don't-
archives.
Yeah,
I
it'd be in the
think
It
archives.
is not in the archives. It does
But
not
I'm pretty
think-
sure...
It does not exist.
I'm pretty sure that Robbie did kind of like pet
Like,
Cora for a
boop,
second,
boop,
and then
boop.
went for his meeting, his mysterious father.
Yeah, before the weird meeting.
Okay, well, let's roll the tape on that.
So Robbie, still kind of standing in front, kind of leans over and reaches out his hand to pat Cora sort of on the head. It's a very slow, controlled movement. And Cora just kind of like looks at him kind of strangely because he doesn't smell like a person
that we do not know about. Yeah. I see that smirk. Yeah. So they have minimally interacted, but Robbie went off to do his thing. So, well, at this point, I will say. Sorry, go.
No, you're good. Sorry, I was just gonna say I was gonna give like a little like hand motion, like a small little snap and like hand motion for Cora to like approach Robbie, and like I just kind of want to see how they interact. I guess like, let her sniff them, see if they pet, see if they how the robot does.
Okay, Robbie, what do you do?
I would just stand there, like at a neutral position, like I usually do, but my head would track as she just walked around me.
Okay, roll me an animal handling check.
I shoot the wolf in the face.
Oh no!
That's your wolf, Kendrick.
Mike, I'll kill you if you do that.
That is a natural 20 for a 20.
Whoa! So, Cora's not really. At first, she's actually the hesitant one because she's like, "What am I? He smells weird. He smells different, not weird." But eventually, she kind of, since you stand just nice and relaxed, just kind of letting her take the lead. She actually, she familiarizes the scent and is, it's not so offending. She's kind of gotten used to it, especially, and you still got that mud on you. You still got a bit of mud on you. So she just kind of smells that and kind of blends with all the metal and the mechanics and oil. So, and also you have the scent of beer, which she has come to realize is a familiar scent within the party. So
alcoholics, woo!
So she warms up to you and she just kind of, you've never seen Cora warm up to anyone this fast, other than you. This is definitely the most at ease you've seen her in a while.
I'm just gonna have a big smile on my face. I'm gonna just say to Robbie, she likes you.
I like her too.
And I'm gonna look at him and go, she's dope, isn't she?
Shit is dope. And then I just go back to...
Shit is dope.
Alright, so it's another hour or so until everyone else wakes up, and the rest of the party slowly wakes up. Folly is up a little bit earlier because she went to bed a little bit earlier. James wakes up.
Sorry,
Wesley sleeps in.
Can I cook some of the rabbit and stuff I got, maybe for breakfast? See if anybody wants some rabbit?
Yep, you cook that up, and Robbie's got the beers lined up as well. So as you wake up, as everyone wakes up, you can partake in some lovely breakfast food and a beer, I guess. And yeah, Wesley's like, oh, five more minutes, 5 more. Kind of rolls over.
That's me.
And James just kind of, fine. No breakfast for you then. Just kind of lets Wesley sleep a little bit longer. And he starts hitching up the cart and their donkey and, packing the rest of their stuff away. And, you're all a little groggy as you wake up. Thanks for sharing the fire with us last night and sharing some stories. Nothing better than coin than stories better than coin right now out here in the wilderness. So thanks for a nice night. Safe travels. Take your advice into consideration as we travel, but best be getting on the road. Try to get in for a half day's work. And he finishes packing up his stuff, forces Wesley to finally wake up, Wesley kind of throws his bedroll messily on top of the cart, and the two of them head out on the road back to Long Pike. Anybody do anything before you head out?
I hope they don't run into any difficulties.
Yeah, same.
All right, so I'm just gonna assume everyone has a bit of food. Who's drinking beer in the morning?
I drink my beer. Robbie laid out a beer, like the beer fairy that he is.
All right, roll me that Constitution check.
Robbie's role in this game for me is like that one friend that keeps you.
He's the beer wench.
Time. Yeah, that is a 15.
15.
The one that keeps you drunk.
Or the beer wrench, if you.
No, like if I'm out camping with my friends, sometimes there's always one person that's like, "Hey, you need a beer." And in the morning, like, "Hey, here's your morning beer." Like, oh Jesus!
All right, so you're drinking your beer, and again, still a little funny aftertaste. You kind of read it off as you've been sleeping, so your mouth gets that weird.
Oh yeah.
Right. So you kind of brush it off as it's just like, oh yeah,
I've got morning dragon breath.
Yeah. So yeah, it's still a little off, and still not sitting super, like, it's not going down as smooth, but you finish your beer and
shame. Breakfast beers are the best beers.
load up the cart. You pack away the leftover firewood and your rolls, and you finally. Is anyone walking alongside the cart today?
I am walking.
I'm gonna ride in the cart because that's just how I feel.
Yeah, you start walking up towards Helga, and she just deadpan looks at you like, don't even think about.
I'm gonna pet my lovely hippogriff Helga, all nice like, and I'm gonna go get in the cart.
Okay. Again, just kind of rolls her eyes.
She hates
mine.
you.
I created her.
She still hates you, though.
Yep.
She hates you.
Which makes it even more hilarious.
She's your baby, and she fucking hates you.
All right, so you travel back on the road.
I am keeping my eye out for anything following us or suspicious looking along the road again.
I'm gonna walk this time instead with Cora, and I will also do what Robbie's doing and kind of like keeping more of a attentive eye out since we met people, and I'm a little bit more paranoid about word getting spread.
Okay. So
rolls.
Let's see.
I didn't like that.
So Thalia's gonna actually kind of look over the side of the cart. She's riding in the cart. So Lythar, how did you and Cora end up meeting? Like, you just kind of showed up at the Twist and Shout one night with Cora, and you didn't really explain how that happened, but I mean, she's pretty awesome. I won't lie, she's pretty awesome. But what's the story there?
After you say she's pretty awesome, I'm gonna give her a couple good pats, like, yeah, you're pretty awesome. And then I'm just gonna be like, well, I as I once said very poorly, I solved the problem I had. I solved the riddle. I figured out. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I had no idea who my parents were for my entire life. And
yeah, so didn't you need their names, and where was it that the water and the wood met?
So, let me scroll a lot and see where this all happened.
You knew there'd be a quiz later on this.
He's checking his scroll in game.
What were their names?
Steve Jobs.
Okay, here it is. Okay.
Okay.
This is fun fact. This is from March, and the planning of this happened in November. Fun fact.
Hey, it's all good, man.
Sorry, what was the exact question Thalia asked? Where did the...
I mean, she was just curious, like, how'd you solve the riddle? What was the information, the specific, describe how you found Cora.
Well, one night when we were in Corn 4, we were actually at the Whetstone, I believe it was. I went out and I was just doing some meditating and trying to solve this, and I met with some tree spirits that actually shocked me, and they were quite alarmed by me, but they realized I meant no harm, and I had a long, good conversation, and they told me about my mother and my father's history, and I found out some things that I had no idea happened. And then I looked up later that night, and there was a full moon, and I found a spot where there was a pretty little creek and a tree right by it. So I decided to put the acorn down, because that's what the riddle sounded like, what it meant. And then this weird anomaly happened, and all of a sudden it got all kind of foggy and dusty in the surrounding area, and I couldn't see much, and all of a sudden I just saw this being form, and it was like almost like smoky, and then all of a sudden I saw these eyes open and look at me, and it was Cora, and she came right up to me and she sat next to me and she just looked at me, and there was just an instant connection. And then I'm sorry I didn't explain much when I came back, but I kind of just I realize now that I kind of just walked back into the inn with her without explaining much.
Such a love story. It was an instant connection.
It was an instant connection.
Our first Tinder date.
And everyone can hear this, by the way.
Yeah.
Everyone can hear this, so if you wanted to chime in, you're welcome to. But wow,
Mommy says that in character.
That's pretty awesome. I'm glad you solved your nut problem.
I am too. I found out that my my mother passed away, but apparently she died honorably defending an elven city, and that I found out there had been tales of my father was never found again, but they said they didn't believe he died, but they heard tales of a wolf howling in the woods surrounding the city, almost like as if it was guarding it. And I found out like my last name means under the moon, which could be connected to wolves and the moon and all that. So there's a good chance maybe my father is still alive. But I have no idea.
Alan.
That's something maybe I could look into after the dragon problem.
Apparently we've all learned a lot about our parents recently.
What was her name?
My mother?
Yeah.
Her name was Mara.
I'll try to see if I know can learn any songs about her. If you'd like. I mean, if that's really too awkward, then I won't. I just if you want, I can.
No, I would love that. Thank you, Thalia. Yeah. That's really sweet of you. I promise not to join in on my pan flute this time. I know last time was a little rough. I'm sorry. It's been quite a while since I've tried to play that thing.
No, it's okay. I mean, did you hear me on the? I was sharp, wasn't I? Oh man, yesterday was not my greatest. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. I don't even know what I was. It was. Mm-hmm. It was bad.
Well, Robbie, roll me a perception check.
4.
Okay.
That was so dramatic.
Was there anyone else looking? I forgot.
I said I was, but I feel like the fact that I was so deep in conversation, I was not paying attention.
Okay. Can you roll one for Cora?
Yeah, that works.
I don't have her character sheet, so I will.
She has a plus 23.
She has a plus 6. No, she has a plus 6 for perception. That's fucking better than mine. Holy shit.
I have a plus 0.
Oh, that's only a 4. So plus 6, that's a 10.
Frank can't be surprised. So
Kendrick.
That's good enough. As you're walking, you just kind of notice a little stone marker, a little bit off the path. You hadn't seen it before, but you were traveling pretty fast last time through the forest, so it's easily overlooked. But you notice it's about 7 by 7 by 20. And it's overgrown. There's moss all over it, and there's a bundle of trees kind of around it. So it's pretty easy to miss if you're not perceptive. But if you want to take a closer look at it, you can try to find some
Yeah,
things.
can I do a closer look? Would that be an investigation or perception?
Well, let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at notes.
No, you're good.
So you get a little bit closer. Is anybody else looking?
Go investigate.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna say the cart kind of stops for a hot second when Lythar notices the stone off the a little bit off the path. So you get a little bit closer. Thalia jumps out of the cart to look as well. And you see some writing in it. It is in Elvish. Charlie and Chris, do you have the notes up by chance?
I do.
The DC listed there. Do you know what kind of check that is?
That would be an investigation.
So that, okay. I was wondering. I wasn't sure. All right. So if you'd like to make an investigation check.
You're starting to sound like me.
Yeah. It says -5 for Lythar.
What?
I don't know why.
-5 investigation.
Hold on.
That's from the difficulty, so it's easier for Lythar.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So go ahead, make an investigation check. Anyone who wants.
Let's say I was like, what?
I literally
I'm sorry. It just is
It's like
trying to.
fuck
Curtis is
Kendrick
like-
in particular.
I was like, but Kendrick reads Elvish. I was so confused when I was reading this one.
Fuck Kendrick in particular.
He is an elf. Make this way harder.
That's a 12.
Okay.
Can I assist him? I can't read it, but I don't know. I could hold him up or something.
If very, very seriously, if anybody can get me to look at it, I can read every.
I was about to
language.
say Robbie can read everything.
Well, if I fail the roll, I will just ask Ravi to.
Okay.
Look at it. Did I fail the roll?
You failed the
Rachel.
roll.
Yeah, you
God
failed the
damn it.
roll.
I had a +5 to that too. Like I had a
Yeah.
5 buffer. Damn.
Yep.
Thanks, Curtis. Just kidding. So I guess I'm gonna study this, and maybe it's a
Yeah.
little too, like faded and like scratched or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna be like,
So because Robbie can auto read it. Does he, Chris?
I would
Would
give
you
him
say he
advantage,
automatically?
Probably.
Yeah, do with advantage.
okay.
Investigation for.
I could just
Robbie.
ask him to read it, but I could.
Yeah.
Wait, I
Am I
get
rolling?
Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie,
Okay.
you're gonna roll. With
I also
advantage.
don't know how Robbie's read everything works, so that's just
Yeah, I know. That's why.
It
Before
is.
you roll, I will just say, Robbie, do you mind giving me a hand reading this? I'm having a little bit of trouble.
Not a problem at all.
Just to make it,
Fun.
canon.
Canonical.
Investigation, correct? Where the hell? Okay.
Yep.
That is a 15 total.
Okay.
And
So
then-
you do where Lythar kind of helps you out. He, what he can make out, since it is covered in moss, he's kind of brushing away some of the moss, and he's pointing out some of the symbols, but they're a little bit dusty, and everything's a little bit harder to read. But with Robbie's check, slight bit easier. So you see that it is a name, and it just says Nell Darney. Nell Darney. That's what it says. And you catch a couple of other words somewhere, and it says border, friends, foes. You can't make out every word, but you get border, Nell Darney, friends, foes, but that's about all you can make out. I'm assuming you relay this to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay. Because Dolly wants to make a history check. And I'm trying to think.
Generally, if you stick me in front of something and ask me to read it, I'm just going to very, very, like a printer
really?
almost, like, scan down it and read it.
Oh, heck yeah. Thank you, Dice. So Thalia kind of walks up, looks at the words. She hears, Nel Darney. Nel Darney. I think it was an elven city? Well, that explains the Elvish, I guess. But it was, if I remember right, and especially since we heard from Lady Cost, it was near where the dwarves made their entrance to, where they came above ground, I think. And I think I heard a ballad once that the city, there was a lot of fighting because it was the clash between the dwarves and the elves, and the whole city, this elven city of Nel Darney was abandoned because there's just so much fighting. And okay, no offense, Lythar, but the elves were kind of racist against the dwarves. No offense, not saying you're racist, but I think if I remember the story right, it's just an abandoned city. So, I mean, that's all I can remember. Sorry.
You remember when it was abandoned? Like, when it was considered abandoned? Was it a long time ago?
I mean, based on the history, and especially with what Lady Cost told us, I mean, this fight between the elves and the dwarves was over 300 years ago. It's been long abandoned, I'd say. If this happened during the initial conflicts, yeah.
I guess I'm just going to take a mental note.
You all should know, I think it's probable we're going to Coramvor, and it will not be a friendly place to us.
Why do you say that?
Have we committed some wrong?
I don't think we've committed anything wrong, but I don't think somebody's too happy about us snooping in their business.
So you're trying to say people's eyes are open for us? Like,
remember,
people are watching.
Everybody we've seen in the past few weeks, months, etc., even beyond that, have disappeared and most likely been killed. Somebody's looking for us, and it's not a good situation. And as James, the man we met at the fire last night, said, Coramvor feels uneasy. There's lots of guards going around. Something isn't right.
There is a dragon underneath the city.
I don't think we're going to have the best time walking into that city at all.
Anybody know of a more secretive way into the city? Maybe not just through the front gates?
At least we should disguise ourselves and hide our weapons, because I have a feeling they'll be looking for them.
But I thought we were trying to lure whoever's hunting us. That's the whole purpose of why we left Longpike normally. We were trying to make it seem like we weren't onto them. Wouldn't they know if we just suddenly disappeared off the trail? And aren't we trying to lay a trap for them?
We can lay a trap for the group that's hunting us, but I think there's a lot of people looking for us. These people have killed people that I haven't even met in person, but because
we don't
my
know if they've
family,
they've
killed that person as well.
What?
It's a very long story, but basically someone who was an acquaintance with my father is now dead, and I think it's because they were looking for me. And us.
How do you know? How recent was this?
This was a while ago. This is not a new development. This was a long while ago. However, I saw all these things inside of Lady Cost's room. So I don't know how true it is, but it seems very realistic to me. People are looking for us, and they want us dead. And if they're not getting the information they want from the people who have interacted with us, they're most likely just killing them.
Where did this murder happen?
Far away from here, in my hometown.
If they are there, that is where we should go.
Eventually, I think that would be a great idea, but right now it seems we have business in Corumvor. However, I'm not expecting any sort of welcoming party in this city.
Well, as long as Ergen welcomes us and the mayor.
Ergen, the mayor, I'm
we'll
still with the Brotherhood. At the very least, they
we
have
just
to let us in because I'm with the Brotherhood.
We just have to keep our eyes open, Lamy. I agree with what you're saying.
I completely understand, and I think as entering the city, we should be disguised, and we should hide our weapons. All of them.
You wouldn't harm an old man with his walking stick?
Have them close by, absolutely, but we need to hide them in some way.
Did you get some sort of information? Do you think there's somebody in the guard that...
No, but based on what I'm hearing from James last night at the fire, he said there are many city guards in Corumvor, and the whole city feels on edge.
I think that's just because they're looking for whoever's kidnapping
There's
people.
also a chance that they're looking for us. And it could be a scheme grander than we have envisioned.
Look, if it helps, I'll message Ergen today, while we're traveling.
Probably a good idea.
But we should probably get back on the road if we want to keep our lead.
I thought we were on the road.
We had stopped to...
Rock.
Oh, the Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah. So. Alright, so...
Before we leave, is there anything
way.
Is there anything beyond the Rock? Like a city?
It just looks like
abandoned
trees.
buildings.
You just see trees. Again, one of the words you caught was border. So you're not sure, whether this was the border into the city, which area of the city. You didn't really quite get enough to picture where the city might have actually been. You just got the word that this rock was probably at the border of the city. So just lots of trees. It's still foresty. Alright, so everyone loads back into the cart. Keep making your way back to Corumvor. Anything else anyone wants to do during the daytime?
Nope. I'll walk. There is a cat!
We have a cat still! Yes!
What? Where? Who? What?
The tail behind
yeah. I was looking at my camera. I was like, is Cleo on the marimba? What's going on? She's been jumping on the marimba now, and I want to kill her. I'm like, stop!
Don't do that.
While we're walking, I'm just gonna ask. I want to ask Thrall, how do you think this will go entering the city? Do you think we need to disguise ourselves? Do you think we need to be more careful as we enter? Do you think your invisibility could provide assistance? What do you think? Are you planning anything?
Well, Lamy and I are still part of the... I forget what the thing's called.
Staying the Shield of the Saint.
Yeah.
Kingsguard.
Allegedly. I'd rather not ever see them again, but yes.
But we're still a part of that, and we haven't done anything to disrupt that, as far as I know.
Well, I've covered up the insignia on my armor intentionally, so that people do not know this.
Still kind of there.
But
you've hidden it as best as you can, but if you remember, there's that enchantment somehow on the armor that makes the crest still kind of noticeable.
Yes.
So maybe we should have you two and Thalia lead the party as we enter. You know, someone of the Brotherhood and 2 Shields of the Saint might be more welcoming into the city rather than a whole bunch of.
I'm worried that I would not.
A motley crew, let's say.
I'm worried I will not be welcomed into the city kindly.
Why is
I could be very wrong.
Well, Folly is going to interject. I'm assuming you've just been traveling for another hour before this conversation. I messaged Ergen. He wasn't exactly thrilled that we're coming back because he told us to hide. There are a couple swear words in there. I didn't quite understand.
What were they?
But
what did the message say? Did it say stay away?
It was kind of like grumble, grumble, grumble. Fine. Tell the guards. The guards will let you in as long as you don't piss them off. There shouldn't be any issues. We've got the city. He said they have the city on higher security, higher alert, just since of all the kidnappings. But if we're careful, and I explained we're trying to lure out the people after us. And again, he didn't seem super thrilled, but he's on board.
What do you prefer us to maybe camp out outside of the city?
I'll have to ask him tomorrow. I used up most of my spells messaging what I got. I can only send so many a day.
It's okay.
So I'll ask him tomorrow though, before we get there. Alright, so I will say that we make it to camp. This is the one by the river, I believe.
I'm emotionally getting worried about NPCs now.
Oh
my god. Don't do it, Josh. No.
This is the river?
I don't know.
River.
I don't know what this river is.
No!
I don't know what this river is. I wasn't here for this.
This is the river that I threw a fish at a tree at, but I'm gonna go fishing again.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Where Josh was defiant as fuck and almost killed us.
Anyway, so you set up campfire again, I'm assuming. There's still the campsite there. Still some disrupted dirt.
I'm in the river fishing.
Alright, roll me
armor off.
Roll me a survival check. Armor off.
Yeah, armor off. Fishing in the
river.
I
hope you get shot by something.
Okay.
Yeah, roll that dice. Yeah.
Survival check.
19.
Okay. You surprisingly enough, I don't know how it went the last time. I don't know if you had any trouble catching, but this time you've familiar terrain. You've learned that you remember that sweet spot last time where you caught the last fish. And so you go right there. And sure enough, there's another fish, actually pretty decently sized, and you catch it pretty quickly.
Dope.
You do see a couple other ones that you can also fish if you want. I don't know how many you're planning on catching.
Nope, just wanted the one fish and I'm gonna go eat it.
Okay. So everyone's kind of around the campfire. Lights, were you gonna hunt again?
Yeah. Yeah, just because we ate some food and stuff, yeah.
Survival check with advantage because you have Korath.
First one. That's 15.
15? Okay. Yep. Yep, so you managed to find this time you actually do kind of find a deer. A little scrawny, but good enough. So you managed to track it down, eventually hunt it. It's kind of it's tricky, it covers its tracks pretty well, but you find it, you bring it back to the campfire, and you can cook that up if you want for dinner.
Yeah.
Thalia's making soup again from Lady Cost's provisions. This one is trying to think. You had vegetable last night. Tonight is potato flavored. So nothing special, but potato. It is still good food.
Are they
so.
boiled, mashed?
It's a soup. It's a soup. Potato soup.
Oh darn.
Potato soup is good. So after you finish, anybody?
I remember that.
Anybody have anything they want to do before they get some sleep?
We're gonna find Lami.
Ronan, tackle the tree.
I'll go bother Lami. Like,
Okay.
So, we had a bit of a heart-to-heart last night about another one. You're muted. For one.
All right, throw it on me, Ronan.
So, what's your deal? Like, you said
My
that this...
deal?
Yeah, this guy was killed for trying to find your parents.
No.
You have parents? Did you come from an egg? Did you come out of the ground? Give me a little something.
This person that I saw dead in my vision was the person who was interrogating my parents, and I assumed was the person who killed my parents. But I believe my parents are alive and in hiding. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything recent. This is all old fruitions. I'm not sure at all. But I do know just because someone was looking for my parents, found them, and maybe was looking for me, that person is now dead. That's all I know.
Vision tell you like
Who
murdered them, or
there was some people of note in the vision. One was this lady named Feyrinus. And she's the one that is dead. In fact, I saw Ergen doing it. What do you call it? When someone's dead and they investigate the body. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Ergen didn't do it. The dick of a mage did.
No, Ergen did it.
Oh, Ergen.
But
I know what you're talking about.
He was looking over the dead body. He noted it was an abduction. His skull was fractured. It was not good. But there's one more person, and it was a lady dressed in red. When I tried to focus on this lady, all I saw was a veil of red. I couldn't see anything at all into this lady's face or where she is or anything. I think it's
this lady.
I think so. All I know is my parents were smuggling some packages illegally, and the only thing I know about these packages is they were full of small metal objects. That's all I know. I know nothing more, but it seems too convenient.
Well, I don't know it. It's in red.
Nor do I. That's half of the problem, but it seems something worth pursuing overall. Somebody is conducting all of this together. There's a reason people are looking for us specifically. Things are changing. The world is turning into a weird place. I don't think it's a very friendly one towards us. And I think Coram Vor and Kor all tie into where we were a few days ago at the menagerie. I think it all makes sense. It's all going to shit.
Well, guess it'll go to shit while we're all together.
Oh yes. But I don't expect very welcoming folk in Coram Vor because of all of this. And I think it'd be wise if we not stayed in inn and distance ourselves from everything that's happening in the city.
That's a little hard considering we go talk to... Yeah.
I understand that. But it's...
But you don't think we should stay at the Twist and Shout? You should...
Everybody we've interacted with has been abducted. We know this much. Everyone we've met, they've met some kind of opposition and they just disappeared. That's not good.
No, it is not.
And why were you so upset last night?
Oh, just something that said.
You're worried about children now?
Not the child. Just asked if any of us had a best friend.
And why did that bother you?
When I was growing up, I had a best friend.
Yes.
It's mine. Maya and I were inseparable. Eventually, a job came up where the town south of ours needed a blacksmith, so I went. Maya decided to come with me. A man came who I've since determined was Eldar. Eldar wanted me to make weapons and armor. Maya discovered that he was wiping out the surrounding towns.
Oh.
So, when I found out this, I refused. Eldar proceeded to burn my town around and kill everyone there. Being my...
Well, that's a rather dramatic action to take. I'm sorry about that.
It's not your...
I don't know what else to say.
Just hoping we don't lose.
I hope so as well, but things are getting more dangerous.
While this is happening,
away from all of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thalia actually kind of gives a nod to Robbie. Kind of
Let's see
walks,
if this will kill my...
Ooh!
Ooh, spooky Robbie.
Spooky Robbie.
Night Robbie. Night mode. Thalia kind of nods her head away from the group and walks a little bit away from the campfire. Do you follow?
I have followed, yes.
Okay. Hey, Robbie. Did your directive change in the menagerie?
It did not change in the menagerie. Do you mean the orders that I was given, or the decisions that I have made?
The decisions, You seem to have a directive, but you just seemed so different down the menagerie.
My directive, as assigned by the Primus, is to capture and study the anomaly. I believe the steps that we are taking is leading us closer to that. And also, an answer as to why an anomaly exists.
And that includes murdering innocents?
Which innocent are you referring to?
A kobold that you shot point blank. And then left the other one to the Kraken.
Kobolds are known thieves, slavers, and killers. According to the morality that I have been given, it would seem that death is the only punishable excuse. Although...
But you didn't know that's what they did. They could have been perfectly nice, and they could have just been scared, and you didn't hear their story. You just passed judgment.
I do not seem to understand the difference between what we did to a creature like Thanquol and what we chose to do with other creatures.
Thanquol, we had learned, was a known slaver. I don't know what your programming says about slavery, but we don't take that too kindly. But he was proven. We knew the crimes he had committed. And so the others passed judgment. I can't... It's not my place to say whether it's right or wrong. But with the kobolds, we didn't know. Sure, maybe they were murderers and thieves and horrible, horrible creatures. But we didn't know that. How is it fair for us to pass judgment? How is it fair to pass judgment when you don't know both sides of the story?
That is interesting. That is a question that I would ask your history books. Why was I created? If not to kill without question.
You got me there. You seem so different in the menagerie.
The people that inhabit the lands currently are responsible for an army that would listen to them.
So what does your programming tell you? The next time we encounter a creature that could be considered evil, unlawful, whatever your program defines it. What happens next time?
If you would like me to withhold judgment, I can do that.
At least until we get the story?
Okay.
I mean, if they're attacking us, then that's totally different.
I will process this information.
But we're no better if we just go killing innocents.
Robbie's shoulders kind of slump and he just goes quiet after that statement.
I'm sorry. And then Thalia walks away. anything else? Anyone wants to? Any other conversations? Any other things before we wrap up the second day of travel?
I got nothing.
Nothing? Cool. Alright, so eventually, I'm assuming we all go to sleep. Unlike the night before where you had James and Wesley to kind of talk with and who wanted to hear your stories, tonight is noticeably quieter.
Mm-hmm.
Thalia doesn't pull out her instruments or anything. She just kind of sits looking at the fire. And eventually, you all call the night. Maury, do you do the same thing with your wire?
Yeah.
Around the perimeter. Okay.
Robot chicken wire.
Okay. So, Lythar, you get your 4 hours. And however many hours that everyone needs for a long rest. So you all wake up in the morning. I'm assuming Robbie has beers laid out again.
Robbie, are you alive?
Always. Every morning.
Every morning.
I like this tradition.
Yep, nothing happened overnight. Nothing triggered the wire. So you all kind of wake up. Anybody cook breakfast?
I guess since I got a deer that time, I'll make a bigger breakfast and
Breakfast.
have it ready for everybody.
Alright, so you have some
Do I
breakfast.
see that he's cooking a bunch of deer?
Yes, when you wake up. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I thought, leave mine raw, please. Thank you.
All right,
Just a preference.
whatever you prefer. Makes it easier for me. All right.
Chris, did you hear that?
What?
Why are people always shooting things right now in town?
I don't know. I did not hear that one.
That one was very close to me. Closer than it's been before.
Oh, we don't have any trains tonight. That's what we're missing.
Choo choo.
Except right
Oh,
now,
it's on,
like,
train
boom,
comes.
boom, motherfucker.
Jesus.
Now I'm really sad that Curtis didn't leave us a train encounter. Alright, so Lami, having your beer?
Yep, having a beer.
Alright, you know what to do.
I do. That's a familiar story. Only a 15 this time. How's that do?
Same as the day before, where, like, man, 2 days in a row having, like, dragon morning breath. It's kind of a bummer. Maybe it's just because you're on the road. You're not entirely sure.
I need
But
a
yeah,
toothbrush.
still a little off. Something not quite right. But hey, maybe it's just beer's been out too long. You can get a fresh beer maybe when you're in town.
I don't like this game.
Excellent. Yeah, so anything before you depart for the day?
I got nothing on my mind, no.
Cool. Alright. Alright, so you you pack everything back up for one more day of travel. You should be making it back to Cormvor by just as the sun's setting. If you keep at you've been keeping a pretty good pace, especially once Lami decided riding his hippogriff was not the best idea for travel with a cart.
Nope.
So you're traveling. Is anyone walking next to the cart?
I'm walking.
I am walking.
Walking.
I'm
Maury's like, no, I do not want to walk.
Maury does not walk.
Nope, I'm not walking either. Save my energy.
All right. Everyone, make me a perception check.
Oh, no. Here we go. Oof. Okay.
That is a natural 20 for a total
Oh!
of 20.
I got a 9.
Say
I got a
14.
7.
14.
8.
Cora should also roll a.
Yeah, Cora.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess Frank, I did hear
she's
that.
gonna do
Josh.
better than me, I guarantee it.
Yeah, Frank can roll perception. Sorry.
Oh, never mind. Cora got a natural 1.
Oh,
runs
okay.
into a tree.
Sorry, baby.
Cora's lost.
She's like, ooh, tree. Ow.
Cora actually is distracted with her new friend Robbie, and saying hello to him.
Oh.
All right, so 20s are highest, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know how do natural 20s do anything on perception checks or no?
Natural 20 means it's the best roll you could have gotten.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you would know everything regardless, yeah.
Frank got a 24.
So Ronan,
Natural 20.
Ronan, you kind of purposely not looking at the cart, I'm assuming. You're looking out, keeping an eye on things, and you see a little movement in the trees.
Kind of move. A little.
Little movement, and you're like, is that a... What could
Squirrel.
that be? And it's familiar.
Ugh.
And as soon as you spot it, you realize it is a dryad.
Time to go.
Remember I
That
yelled
you-
at everybody to move last time? And Lami was like, but why? I'm fishing.
So
wisps.
you notice a dryad.
you're
You
right.
notice the dryad. And actually, once you kind of make out the shape of one, you notice there are no, it's just one. It's just one. You thought you saw two, but no, that was just them moving around the trees so much. So eventually, you make that awkward eye contact of, oh boy, here we go again, and the dryad just comes forward. Do you tell the
towards us?
party? Yep, it's coming towards you. Do you tell the party to,
I'm gonna like poke
Do we all see
Lythar,
this?
but I'm gonna
No,
do it
Ronan's
by,
the first. Ronan's the only one to see this at first.
Like my meaty hand, like I'm not gonna look for Lythar. I'm just kind of gonna pat around my hand until I like
All right,
tap him on the
Lythar,
face.
you're fawning over how cute Cora and Robbie are becoming friends, and you're so proud of her. And suddenly, Ronan's face is gently tapping you, and you kind of look over, and you see the male dryad that you ran in before, missing an eye. But it has grown over with some rough bark. It's pretty dark, so it's definitely noticeable that it's missing an eye because of the color difference. But
I'm sorry.
he kind of walks up. He keeps a little bit of a distance. He stays next to a tree, kind of one hand on the tree. He just kind of watches all of you. And at this time, everyone else notices the dryad. I believe Robbie and Thalia are the only ones who do not recognize this, so... Okay. Anybody else do anything?
Maury, do not wave. This is your doing.
I'm gonna duck a little bit lower behind the cart edge. It's gonna slump down a little bit.
I'm gonna see Ronan wave and wave in the same direction as him. Like, just still looking forward.
Doesn't visibly react. He kind of looks over all of you. Just kind of
whisper to Lythar, I'm not here. I'm not here. And I just keep on getting lower.
He sees you. He sees you, Maury. And he just holds...
Remember.
He holds his gaze for a while. And then...
Oh, sorry, keep going.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna... I guess, not shout, but say loud enough for it... Like, I'm not, like, screaming, but loud enough for all surrounding things to hear. In Elvish, I'm just gonna say, like... We mean no harm. We are just traveling through. Please forgive my friends for the last time we encountered. That will not happen again. That was a misunderstanding. They have learned their lesson, trust me.
As you say this, he pauses one more second looking at Mori, or the space where Mori's like hiding behind the cart. And then he eventually turns his gaze towards you as you finish speaking. And then he actually notices, he sees Cora. And he kind of looks surprised. And Cora walks up to him.
What?
Nuzzles his hand. He kind of absentmindedly pets her. Looks at you again. As if he's reevaluating. And you hear him in Elvish. He looks back down at Cora and he said, and he says in Elvish, "Blessed Protector, be well." Cora gets a couple more scritches, heads back to you. And the Dryad slowly doesn't turn away, but he slowly backs into the forest until he blends in with the trees. And for like you thought you had your eye on him, and then he's gone.
Wait, the Dryad disappeared?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I let out a big sigh. All right, cool, let's go.
Mori, are you taking the reins and just like...
Yes.
All right.
Time to go.
So the cart starts moving. Lytha, do you do anything?
I'm assuming Cora's next, or I guess I didn't say it, but I was assuming I was in the cart this time. I guess it doesn't matter. Regardless, Cora's next to me, and I was just gonna like look at her in amazement, like, and I'm just gonna like say in Elvish, like, "Blessed Protector," and give her a fuck ton of lovings, and be like, "You're such a good girl, Blessed Protector."
Okay, she had lingered over by where she had stood with the Dryad for a second, but as soon as the cart starts making its way, she wanders back to you and happily accepts all the love and attention. Although she is still kind of looking around the trees. Any last conversations before we start heading into Khorne 4 and wrapping up?
I never really talked to Curtis about this. Can I have conversations with Cora? I don't really know.
That's something
Did he tell you anything?
Technically, you could, but
right.
We don't have any notes on.
I didn't know if he.
So if you want to message him,
okay.
If you want to,
because you were like, "Is there anything you want to do?" I was like, "Am I about to have a conversation with an animal?"
I wasn't sure. I had the thing with Cora was I just didn't know.
I do have to speak with animals, yes, but I don't know if I need to use that for her.
I don't know. So if you want to say that you had a conversation with Cora at some point during these travels, could be right after this or at some point.
Sure.
We can say you did, and you'll work it out with Curtis later.
Okay.
Ronan, how close are you to the cart?
Like 4 feet.
Okay. Thalia's just gonna point and use message, and just all you hear is "I'm sorry." You are welcome to reply to this message if you would like.
Does that play in my head too?
Yeah,
Please
sure.
message
Why not?
after the tone.
I'll send back. It's okay.
Alright. So it's it's been a couple of days here. You've had some discussions, and there's a little bit of uncertainty as you're heading back into Khorne 4, and eventually the gates into Khorne 4 make their you can see them off in the distance. And last time you had been in such a rush that you just kind of passed through the gates and you had Ergen with his little badge thing, whatever, and you just kind of flew through. But this time there's a couple of carts in line to make their way into the city for the evening, and you kind of join the line, the queue, and eventually make your way up to the guards. They're white plumed, no sign of pink or red, just white plumed guards. Thaya just kind of is like, oh, back when she first saw the white plume, she goes, oh, just regular guards, nothing to worry about. Should be fine. As Ergen said, we should be fine to make it to the city, no problem. Just, we should maybe mention we're going to go see him or the mayor or something like that. So eventually you make your way up to the guards. What do you say?
Hi. We were just on our way back from Longpike, and we're looking to get in and talk to the mayor.
Okay, well, what's your business? Do you have rooms here already? Do you live here?
Yeah, we have rooms down at. Oh boy, I forgot what the inn is called.
Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout.
Oh, it's a good spot, the Autumn Clan.
Yes.
On that place for as long as I can remember. Might go get myself a drink there myself.
I hand him one of the mugs that says Twist and Shout.
I can't drink on duty. But what the other one kind of elbows him and what's your business with the mayor? Got his hands full with all these disappearances and whatnot.
It's a very long story, but he's been waiting on us for information.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So he sent us on a little trip to see what was there were some rumors of things going on in the forest, and we just went and checked it out, and we just have to tell him that we didn't.
Thaya's gonna add in, Yes, Ergen sent us to check out the disturbances with the cattle, livestock, and the deaths at Longpike. We're just reporting back to him and the mayor. So guards kind of look at each other, look back at you guys, peek in the cart. I mean, all I find is firewood and leftover food and stuff. Kind of look around. One of them is eyeing Cora a little nervously. But she seems docile, she's docile enough. But so, they finally, alright. Head in, Dia. We'll give you an escort to the mayor's. Make sure you get there safe. Had a couple disappearances. We're trying to make sure everyone's getting to where they need to go, alright.
I don't believe we'll need an escort.
Dark. Well, you're getting one.
All right, then.
So, you enter the city of Korimvor once again after your quick adventure out to Longpike, even though it feels like it's been forever. We are finally
4 days ago.
Korimvor. Yeah, much as we did, what was it, 3 weeks ago now? We joined the throngs of people moving around their city. Everyone's starting to head back inside. The hustle and bustle's mainly past, but still got the evening crowd going to an inn to grab a drink after a day's work. On your way to the mayor's mansion. But this time there's a strange chill running down your spine. The first time you were here, you were looking for aid for your friend Kor. And going back to civilization was pretty nice after spending some time out there. And this time, you can definitely feel the tension that James was talking about. The walls feel less comforting. It's a feeling of scrutiny rather than security. You know that someone or something has tracked you down to every move in this city. And there's probably a trap waiting here for us. But a trap can always be turned on its user. And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Hey.
Oh.
Nope,
Thanks
CP's
for
playing with
watching,
lighters.
everybody.
Yay!
Yay!
We didn't burn down the
Good
inn!
job, Rachel.
Yeah.
You did so good.
Thanks, new Curtis. You're the
Thanks,
best.
new
That was really
Curtis.
good.